Hi, this is Papa with Paranormal Papa Investigations and Papa's Unique Wedding. I know so many of us, we want that memorable ceremony, whether it be themed, historic, whether it be Renaissance, whether it be done at a Renaissance fair, be it Celtic or Gaelic, be it French Revolution, be it Civil War, be it cowboy era. I've done them all. I have the outfits. The hardest part of a themed wedding is finding an ordained minister that'll put on funny clothes to match your unique desires for your ceremony. We have no problem with it at Papa's Unique Weddings. We specialize in the Druid, Norse, Celtic, Gaelic. We also specialize and love and respect our members of the LGBTQ plus community and are happy to conduct ceremonies for them. So if you're in need of a minister, if you're in need of a unique minister to officiate your unique ceremony, get a hold of us at Midwest Parahistoric Society at gmail.com, or you can contact us at the phone number listed below. We will do everything in our power to make your unique ceremony as memorable as you desire. Take care of yourselves, take care of each other. God bless you, God love you, we do. Welcome back to the Paranormal Papa Podcast, episode 42, coming to you from Ferocious Feline Studios in Cassopolis, Michigan. Hey guys and gals, it's Papa. Paranormal Papa Investigations and the Paranormal Papa Podcast. Can't believe it's June already. We are almost 1 year into the podcast and the Paranormal Papa channel. God, time flies. We have a very special podcast. Very special. For years, people have used yet complained about the available technology to assist us in what we do. Today, we are going to take a look at the Skeptic Metaphysicians podcast. And in this episode, they are welcoming a gentleman by the name of Tony Rothman. Now, Tony is the founder of Entity Voices Paranormal, but he's also a little bit of an engineer. And he created a system of communication called STATICOM. Let me rephrase that. He didn't actually create it. he took old technology, modernized and updated it, and what he's managed to come up with, in my opinion, could revolutionize paranormal investigation as we know it. Everybody always complains about that white noise, that
Yes, ma'am.
I'm a priest.
yeah, that noise right there. When we're doing spirit box communication, it makes it a little harder to understand or to hear voices on occasion. But what if we could do away with that white noise, do away with that radio signal, and only pick up those voices? I think what Tony's done is amazing. Check this out. You're going to like this.
Hey there, I'm Will.
And I'm Karen.
Welcome back to the Skeptic Metaphysicians. Today's guest is someone who quite literally talks to the dead, but he gets answers too.
I like that.
Right. So Tony Rothman is the founder and lead investigator of Entity Voices Paranormal Investigations, an EVP and ITC specialist, and the mind behind STATICOM, a groundbreaking new method of two-way spirit communication using only broadband white noise. That's right, he's turned static into a supernatural walkie-talkie.
Wow.
With over 15 years of experience, Tony has investigated hundreds of haunted locations across the U.S. and abroad. He's built custom spirit boxes, hosted popular paranormal shows, and even ran a haunted hospital. Yup. That is a real thing, Karen.
No, thank you.
From skeptic to full-blown spirit tech innovator, Tony's work is changing the game and how we connect with the other side. Tony Rothman, welcome to the show.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here, and I appreciate you having me on to discuss what STATICOM can do.
Yeah, no, the words excitement doesn't come close to expressing how we feel right now.
Oh, there's clips.
Yes,
I just want to hear them now.
We've got clips. Yeah, so Tony, one thing we should probably disclose to you and the audience, most of the audience know this already. Karen had no idea who you were or what we're going to be talking about. We do it on purpose so that she comes at it from the audience point of view. So I do all the research and stuff. So the first time she heard about the fact we're going to talk about speaking beyond the veil is right now.
I'm very excited.
Well, that's awesome. You know, 15 years ago, I was a complete skeptic. My father was a physics instructor. And so every time I asked a question as a kid, Dad, why is the sky blue? I got a scientific answer. Oh, son, there's water vapor in the air. When the sun hits it, blue is the most reflective color. That's why the sky looks blue.
Oh, is that why?
Ghosts, nothing about spirits, nothing about demons. Those conversations never came up. But when I met my wife, when paranormal shows started coming out, she took an interest. And she's like, oh, you got to watch this. I'd sit down for about 2 minutes and go, no, this isn't real. This is for television only. None of this exists.
Okay.
Then she tricked me one Valentine's Day, and she said, I want to do something different. I said, okay, what do you want to do? She goes, I want to go ghost hunting. And I was like, kidding. I had two choices. I could take her or have her mad at me until next Valentine's Day.
Right.
So of course I took her.
What I love the most about that is that you have a very romantic wife.
This was a strange request and one that I did not have an interest in, but, you know, I knew it would make her happy to take her, so I did. So I booked a hotel that had a reputation of being haunted, bought her some inexpensive equipment, night vision camera, EMF meter, digital recorder, and we went. I played along. I asked questions. I took pictures. She had a great weekend. That was all I cared about. But when she got the stuff home, started reviewing it, what captured my attention the most was a response on the digital recorder to a question we asked when we were the only two people up at 3 a.m., the only two people in the basement of the hotel, which we weren't even supposed to be in, and getting responses with timing and relevance to the question that we asked. That blew my mind. And that's what started 15 years of research to try and prove two things. One, you could communicate with disembodied consciousness. And two, if you can, and we can prove that That means consciousness survives death. Those are the
Right.
two things that we were really looking to see. Can this be shown?
Well, I have to say, first of all, kudos to your wife, because, I mean, I think that would be really interesting to go and to this haunted place, but I don't want to sleep there. And I want to go to the haunted place and then come back to the regular hotel where I'm not going to wake up or be afraid I'm going to wake up with, something there. I would not sleep. That's some bravery.
And when you say that you got an answer to a question, how did you get an answer?
Well, you're talking EVP, so just
Okay.
digital recorder. Digital recorder doing EVP is called record and review, meaning you start it, you ask the questions you want to ask, then you stop the recorder, take it home, load it to your computer, denoise it, try to clean it up, maybe amplify it. That's the review part, and then hopefully you're going to hear responses. But that's how EVP works. The response just shows up on the recorder.
Got it. Okay. All right. Well, let's talk about STATICOM, because this is going to change everything, right? What exactly, in layman's terms, is a STATICOM?
Sure. It's a method. It's a method of spirit communication. My original team and two former teammates literally did the historical research on all the different varying methods of spirit communication that had been used to date. Which ones produced responses, which ones were not debunked or proven to be fakes or lies. And the one method that came through under that scenario was a method called direct radio voice. It was determined it could be used by a gentleman named Friedrich Jurgensen. Friedrich Jurgensen passed that information on to Konstantin Radeve, and Konstantin Radeve passed it on to the most well-known gentleman who used it for about 35 years, named Marcello Bacci. And Marcello Bacci used it to communicate with spirits, bring in people who had lost children or loved ones, and allow them to get messages from the other side. So when we figured that out, that method was recreated based on how it was put together, and guess what? It worked. So then we continued to evolve it. The two biggest skepticisms or criticisms of any ITC product were, one, a lot of them used a radio. It's really hard to say I'm getting voices from the other side when your device that you're using is a radio, which is meant to take RF signal and turn it into speech or music.
Exactly.
How do you determine reception from deception? And that's a valid point. The other valid point to ITC was you're not really hearing words, you're hearing warbles and artifacts of sound, and your mind is trying to conform it into some sort of rational thought, or what you think is hearing is speech. So the first two things we had to do was to eliminate both of those. We needed our speech clear enough that anyone could understand it. And two, we had to remove the radio. And that's what we did.
Yeah, wow. It's true, though. You hear replays of people that they go, oh, this, do you hear this answer? And you're like, maybe, so
Right.
it always could be something else. So I'm excited to hear more about this, because if you've cleared it up so you can actually understand it more and you're not guessing or thinking maybe that's it, that's phenomenal.
But the cool thing about it is
I thought that was a cool thing.
well, no, it gets cooler, because it's
Another cool thing.
It's not just one way. Yes, another cool thing. Sorry, is it's not just one way communication. They actually talk and they actually have conversations.
Correct.
That's amazing.
And there's no AI, there's no word banks, there's no nothing. Nothing is programmed into the system. It is nothing but a white noise generator filtered with filters in the computer that filter frequency, noise reduction, things like that, equalizer. That's it. Nothing to produce words. White noise has no words in it, has no audio data whatsoever. There are no voices in white noise. So once this goes through, and we believe it happens through a physics process called stochastic resonance, what happens is that white noise is used to elevate undetectable or signals that are not able to be detected, and it raises their level. So when you add white noise, when the spirits speak, their voice overlaps a few frequencies in the white noise, and it elevates their voice up here, where the white noise through a white noise generator stays at a consistent level because it has a spectral frequency of 1, meaning everything's even. So when their voice comes up, then we cut the white noise off, leaving only the voice. And all of this happens in real time. It denoises, it slows down live white noise in real time. That was part of the problem. Spirits will speak so fast that if we didn't slow it down 50% in real time, you couldn't hear what they were saying. These were all done with research tests, and now we have STATICOM version 3.0, which is about maybe 80 days old.
Oh my God, that's so exciting.
Yeah, and before you send us some clips, we're going to play them in a few minutes. Before we do that, these clips you sent us, are these the STATICOM 3.0 or are they the older model?
They start from the DRV model. There's one of those. There's 2 of 2.0 and 3 of 3.0.
Fabulous. Okay. How does a spirit speak? They've got no voice box.
Very good question. But you don't need a voice box to create vocals. It's like hitting a guitar string. You need energy, frequency, and vibration. Your thumb is the energy. The frequency happens from the vibration of the string, and the sound of it comes from that vibration. People always do ask me that question. I say, well, does your radio have vocal cords? No. Yet you're getting speech. It's coming from energy, frequency, and vibration of the paper material within the speaker.
Ah, that's great.
So do they have similar voices, or do they have different voices, different spirits, different voices? Or does
everyone's different, and we've been able to have people identify past loved ones strictly by their vocal.
That's badass.
What?
Yep.
Oh my God.
That is badass.
Oh my gosh.
So you feel that this helps to prove that consciousness exists beyond death.
Correct.
Does that consciousness or personality? Like, are people like grumpy on the other side? Like, oh my God, I died when I was about to go my 18th round of golf and I couldn't finish the damn thing. Do they hang on to those types of energies?
They do.
Or is it they do?
Oh,
if you
see,
break
I thought you just
down-
went into the light and it was happy and all was good.
Well, I mean, the majority of them seem happy, but do they have days that may not be absolutely perfect, even on the other side? Yeah, they do. This literally made us take a huge step back and determine what we believed reality to be. Because one of the things in the research we didn't want to do was we didn't want to conflict with science, and we didn't want to conflict with religion. Any religion, doesn't matter. And now with the way that we've taken a concept called analytic idealism, which basically says that the ontological primitive of life is consciousness. It's there before you are alive. It's a fractal portion of the universal consciousness while you're alive, and it returns back to universal consciousness after death. That is how we believe these voices are interacting, answering questions, and with timing and relevance. And you'll get to see that when we play a few of the clips.
Mm-hmm.
So do you think, like, when you ask the questions, now are they now kind of all-knowing? Or are they, like Will said, still kind of the grouchy guy?
Well, if you reevaluate reality like we did, and that, even religion says we all come from one God, if that God is universal consciousness and we're all a piece of it, it means we're all the same. If what we learn while we're alive here on Earth, if all that information goes back to universal consciousness so it can expand and grow, and it's one mind, that means that every bit of information in the universe is all part of universal consciousness. So when people say to us, well, you're using a digital recorder and you're talking to a spirit from the 1800s, they wouldn't even know what that is. Yes, they would, because universal consciousness supplies all the energy, all the information to its entirety. And any individual voice coming through has access to that full information.
So it's almost like it separates itself again from universal consciousness to speak to you as an individual?
Well, you can get the voice of who you ask for. It's still part of universal consciousness, but it can come through as the voice of your past loved one.
So maybe kind of like Sybil, like all the personalities, kind of all in one.
It's funny you say that because dissociate identity disorder was one of the things where they thought that these were completely separate people. Then over the years of research, when somebody was cured of it, they realized that all those other people were in fact just them to begin with. Right. Mm-hmm. It's the same thing between fractal universal consciousness, which is how we identify ourselves here on Earth alive, then returning to universal consciousness where the realization is, oh my gosh, we're all one and the same.
As cool as all this is, I just want to point out the fact that you bum me out to make me understand that I can have a bad day in heaven.
No. What gets even worse is when I asked them if they had jobs. And they said yes. That.
Oh, come on. Okay, I am not being a janitor in heaven. I'm not doing it. I'm saying it right now. I'm not doing it.
Or daycare.
Yeah.
What kind of jobs? What like, not seriously, not janitor.
What is there to do?
We're still working. Like I said, 3.0 is so new that we're just finally getting into the research questions. We did them with 2.0. But the difference between 2.0 and 3.0 was just an immense difference in the constant communication. 2.0 used to drop off at points and just go away. 3.0 doesn't do that. We can ask question after question after question, get response after response after response. So that research, things like what kind of job do you do? I'm sure they're different. Their environment is different. They're under a different sense of what reality is. They're not bound to time and space. So I'm sure those learning and growing experiences are different from what we have here. At least I'm hoping.
This is
hopefully better.
Very different thought process than I ever expected to have on this thing.
So how long is the longest conversation you've had?
15 minutes.
Wow.
That's pretty awesome.
That's fantastic.
So what is a typical day in Tony Rothman's day? Like, you sit around just talking to spirits all the time? Like, when you talk about doing research, you just, like, that's what you do? Just sit in front of a console and talk to spirits?
Well, I mean, I do have a full-time regular job, so I spend too much time there. I would like to be able to spend all my time doing this. But yeah, we will take this to haunted locations. We will do it right in our home. There's not a night that goes by it's not on. We can turn it on and just listen. We don't have to speak because they speak to each other.
You're eavesdropping.
It's a spiritual eavesdrop. Exactly.
Wow.
We can listen to what they're talking about.
So when you hear the term haunted house, it seems scary and, creepy and negative and demons and whatnot. But do you ever go to haunted places that are lovely hauntings?
Well, TV and movies portray a side of the paranormal which isn't exactly accurate. Am I going to tell you that demons don't exist? No, I'm not going to say that. But in 15 years, have I ever run into one? No, I haven't.
So they don't exist.
Well,
I'll take that.
that I wouldn't say. But they're
you don't want to come prove himself.
Right. No, especially not today. Yeah.
They're not an everyday occurrence by any means.
Well, that's good.
All right. That's good. Okay, I think we've made Karen wait long enough.
Way too long.
Let's pull the first clip. Let me take a look at this, and then maybe you can set us up.
Sure. Start with the one labeled DRV Bocce.
Yep.
Okay, so this clip was when we got direct radio voice working. We knew we were getting answers. This is the best clip we had in a year of research. So this one is when we were running it. My wife said, "Hey, Marcello Bocce, this is your method. Can you say something to us?" That's this clip.
All right, let's hear it.
Marcello, can you see us?
Yes.
Thank you. Marcello, you started this method. It's working. Can you please try to communicate with us?
If you guys are just listening to this, you're not watching the video, you are missing Karen. That was priceless reaction, Karen. Absolutely priceless. Okay, so yes, that was a little bit clearer than I expected.
Way clearer than I expected.
Yeah. So how long did you talk to him after that?
That was about it on that one.
Okay.
He responded. He said, "I'd say glad to meet you." But, you know, the great thing about vocals is they're better than any other paranormal piece of equipment on the market, because I can tell if it's male or female. I can tell if it's an adult or child. I can tell emotional state. Are they happy? Are they upset? Are they angry? I can tell if there's a territorial accent or dialogue. You can hear, even though he's speaking English, you can hear a European dialect in the way he's using the words. Marcello Bacci would have had that.
A good Italian man, absolutely.
Correct.
I would see it. Okay, that was intense, but I can't even think that it gets more intense from here. So what's the next clip? What should we go to?
All right, go to STATICOM 2.0 and do Energy of the Mind.
Okay, here we go.
How do you hear me speak?
Okay. So I honestly think that was actually clearer than the first one.
Yeah.
The vocal does improve from step to step. The biggest step from 2 to 3 was the length. 2 would drop off after a minute or 2 and the conversation would just be gone. 3 does not drop off anymore. We've gone hours conversation with 3 and not had it drop. But the interesting thing about the one you just played was that even before STATICOM, we would do EVP research. And a lot of times the question would, or the answer would show up on the recorder before we even finished asking it. So the answer that they gave, Energy of the Mind, that's the thing, explains how they're getting the information. It is not from my vocals. It is from me thinking it and passing that information back through consciousness. It's also the new scientific theory called the survival theory of scientists trying to show that maybe consciousness can survive death. And that process is shown in their answer of Energy of the Mind. That's the thing.
This is exciting because
So exciting.
we've been doing the show for 4 years, and the whole thing is we're looking for that tangible proof, right? That there's something else beyond this physical world. If this is in fact what we're hearing, I think you're right. I think this might be what the world is waiting for, which brings up a good point, a good question.
Is this our last show?
Yeah, that's it. Mic drop. Thank you. We're done. No, how have you been received?
Yeah.
You know, there are certain groups of people that are going to be, oh my gosh, this is fantastic. You're going to get ones that, he's faking it. None of that is real. I guarantee you there is nothing faked here. This is as real as it gets. But you've got people that can be looking for Bigfoot, lose their car keys, and have Bigfoot hand them their keys and still not believe it. And you're never going to change those people. And it's not my intent to change anybody. My intent is literally from a research perspective to show what we can capture, and what somebody does with it, that's up to them. But we literally will invite any scientific group, any consciousness, afterlife organization to see it, hear it, run it, and evaluate it. We have no concerns with that whatsoever.
What about just a couple of podcasters?
We will do that too. We are going to be in Halifax, Canada, doing the Canadian Symposium, talking about it this year. We will be at Phenomenon in Utah with the Skinwalker Ranch people and talking about what this thing can do, doing a 90-minute presentation, running it live. it's always great to run it for live because people get their own responses and they can recognize voices. They can ask questions only they know and recognize, oh my gosh, that's the correct answer without anyone in the room knowing what the answer should have been.
That's pretty awesome.
Wow.
So basically you're saying, cross my heart, hope to die, stick a needle in my eye, I'm telling the truth. And that's kind of...
But more grown up.
Or is it? I don't know. All right. Well, the third clip. Do you want to go to the next 2.0?
Yeah. Next 2.0, I think, is Chip Patton.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Okay. You can go.
Can you say Tony? Did you just say Rothman? Yep. So you know who I am. Can I know who you are?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Who am I speaking to?
Okay. Tell me you looked up who Chip or Harold Patton is.
We did. There's two problems. One, it's audio only. Did I hear it right? Did I spell it right? I did not ask what time frame they lived, who was president when you were alive, so that makes the research much harder. Again, that's still 2.0, so after that response came through, the communication slowed down, and I wasn't able to ask any further questions.
Gotcha. Because the first few I was a little iffy on, but then when he said, I'm Chip, and then Harold, it got way clearer for me at that point. So, okay. I am so curious about 3.0. How about you?
Yes.
Should we wait until the end of the show?
Nope.
Not you sure?
I'm sure.
Yeah, okay. All right. So, wives, they rule the roost. So, which 3.0 clip should we roll?
I don't know if I gave you 2 or 3.
You gave us 3.
We got 3. We got fourth round, we got Percodan, and we got responses.
All right, do Percodan first, and let me just give a little preference to it. This is when we first got it working. I mean, I was still putting in coding, and these voices just showed up. And my wife told me that night that she wasn't feeling well, and she was in pain. And so I literally, because the voices were coming through, I asked. And go ahead and play it, and you'll see what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Cherie isn't getting sick, is she? Is Cherie getting sick, Spirits? Yes. What should she take? Who created STATICOM?
Is it broken, you ask?
Yeah, that's what they were afraid of. I didn't even know, and I don't react to it when they said Percodan, because I didn't know what Percodan was. I had to look it up. It is a prescription strength pain reliever, a combination of oxycodone and aspirin. But I didn't know, I had never taken it. I didn't know what it was. They had literally given me an answer that I was not aware of, which was accurate.
Wow.
Right. So that was a little bit more difficult to hear because of the ambient noise. Can you just go through it? Like, what was that you asked, and why did they answer Percodan?
Because I asked, is my wife getting ill? And they said yes. And I said, what should she take? And Percodan. They came back with Percodan.
So she has something that was causing her pain then?
Correct.
Wow. Okay.
Wow.
That's pretty awesome. Okay. So then what's the next 3.0?
Initial, I think.
Yeah.
We got fourth round and responses.
Oh, do responses.
Okay.
Now, this will show that the two-way communication absolutely has broadened. You're not going to hear a single question and a single answer anymore. You're going to hear conversation. That's what this is going to show. But none of these questions are scientific. This is when we first got it up and running.
Okay, here we go.
Rothman, I heard you say Rothman. spirits, can you hear me? Yes, okay. That was a loud voice that just answered. What's your name? That's a strange name. How many spirits are here with us right now? A lot? A lot, yeah, that's what I thought you said. Because there's so many of you, is that why all the background chatter? They're talking? Do you have any messages for us? Rathman, I heard that.
I am head to toe. Goosebumps. Chills.
Yes. Be careful. Ooh.
And you've done it. Gosh, does this freak you out at all? I mean, they're just going about their lives out there, and it's like they're in the living room, right? It doesn't feel like they're in the afterlife. They're just next door talking.
That's an excellent point, but it's because of the way that we define life as being human. We created a man-made construct called time and space. Time and space do not exist for them. It doesn't exist. You know, and people always say, well, have them tell us where they are. Well, we can only understand things like where you are based on time and space, which are man-made constructs. If I said to you, do you like ice cream? And you said yes. I said, without using time, tell me when you had your last bowl of ice cream. It's impossible. You can't say 4 hours ago. You can't say last week. You can't say 3 months ago. You can't do it. It is the same thing for them because they don't have the constructs that we have placed on human 3D materialistic life.
Oh my God. So what?
Well, I was going to ask, when they said be careful, what do you think they meant by that? And that Rothman sounded kind of scary.
Rothman,
Other
be careful.
people have said that. I think that was said that way to get my attention.
Got my attention.
The be careful brings up lots of things to me. One, anytime you're opening a communication, do you run the risk of maybe getting something a little darker? Yeah, you do. We haven't had that concern yet. But I think the bigger concern is in somebody wanting to get a hold of it for the wrong reasons. Information, government, those are the concerns I think the be careful are around.
Gotcha. That makes sense.
So maybe one of the jobs is like a spy.
Well, STATICOM will not give you anything from the future. Meaning, I can say something as simple as I have a decision to take this job or this job. Which one should I take? They will not answer. They don't do that because we believe they're under universal laws. They can't affect the life that we were sent here to learn, to grow, to evolve. And they cannot change that. But they can change. They can say anything that's happened in the past. And the other reason we know they won't give future stuff is because we've asked for the Powerball numbers 1,000 times. They don't.
As you well should have. Absolutely, yes.
But if I ask something that happened in the past, I mean, we've literally done research where we Googled 100 questions randomly on the internet, wrote the answers down, and then asked the question and got the correct answer from STATICOM. So then the next thing my wife and I said is, let's use this for cold cases. Let's get them answers where they can't find any. Right. And let's see what can be done with it.
Have you done that yet?
We are working on it.
Oh.
Wow.
That
yeah,
is exciting to think about. So if you do have some success with that, I hope you'll reach out and let us know because that sounds fascinating.
Yeah.
So I think it's probably really important to re-stress what you said in the very beginning. This is a white noise generator. This is not a radio signal, right? So there's no possibility that a voice could leak into this. This is just white noise. So what you're hearing can't be a crosstalk of any sort at all, right?
It cannot. It's a closed circuit system also. There's no mics. There's no input. There's no nothing. When I'm asking a question, I'm not even broadcasting my voice. I'm speaking in my normal tone of voice in my house, yet a response comes in with timing, relevance, and intelligence and answers what I just asked. So yes, we have theories on how this is occurring, and again, stochastic resonance is one of them. But this should not be happening, but it is.
Yeah, like they said, you've done it. You've done it.
So you've done all of this incredible research and created this device, and now you're getting these amazing communications that are proving essentially that this consciousness does exist after our bodies are dead. How can you use this tool for good? Like, how do you think this can help people?
Well, cold cases is definitely one.
Yeah.
Right.
The other one is grief. I mean, when somebody loses a child or even a parent or whatever the case is, there's an enormous amount of grief that goes along with that. Mm-hmm. To be able to hear, maybe get a message, hey, I'm still here, I'm still around. Mm-hmm. Your version of death isn't death to us, it's a transition. Those are comforting thoughts. Those are the thoughts that, hey, I will see them again. Mm-hmm. I will be able to communicate with them. There's another way it can help. The doors that it can open, everything from maybe new internet speeds of transmission, if we can determine how this is occurring, to who knows what in science. But the biggest one right now is just the fact that this is the best proof I've ever seen that consciousness can and in fact does survive death.
Wow. And you mentioned that you can actually invite a specific person to speak. Have you done that? Have you had success with that?
I have. I have spoken to my grandfather who passed away when I was a child. My wife's mother passed away from COVID about 3 years ago. She has been able to get a hold of her. We also do what's called live sessions for groups of audience where they can come hear it for themselves, and then we let them ask their own questions. We had a gentleman come up one time that said, "Can I ask a question?" We said, "Sure, go right ahead." But he asked his question in his Native American language. We don't even know what he asked. So we just sat back and waited and listened. And we weren't sure if he got his answer until his eyes sort of went wide and his jaw kind of dropped. I said, "Did you get your answer?" He said, "Not only did I get it, but I got it in my Native American language."
Wow.
So no chance that we're just reading into this, is there? Like, we think we're hearing it, but maybe just our mind's playing tricks on us or something?
No, I mean, that's the whole definition that science threw out about EVP and ITC, that's warbles and artifacts. We've had these voices analyzed by audio engineers, and they've come back and said this follows the exact consonant, tone, diphthong, pauses, the emotional energy typically shown in human speech. This is not warbles and artifacts of sound.
Wow. But there's one more clip, isn't there?
There is one more clip, yes. Okay, I guess we should play it before we go on to the next question.
I'm like, yes.
All right. It's called Fourth Round, yeah?
Correct.
Okay. You want to set this up before we get?
Yeah, again, this was, a few days into us getting it operational, 3.0. This is, again, just conversation. None of it is research, but it's showing the two-way consistent conversation back and forth over a length of, I think we probably did this an hour. This is probably a 2 or 3 minute clip, but that's what you're going to hear.
All right, let's see.
Time what? golfer, you know that, right? Spirits, if you're not familiar with this device is called STATICOM. If you heard me say STATICOM. That's better.
Now, can you say STATICOM for me, please?
Alright, Spirits. If you don't want to say STATICOM, let's play another game. What am I holding in my hand? Glasses, thank you. Thank you very much. How about pineapple? Can you say pineapple? Oh, perfect, thank you. How come you can't say STATICOM like that?
It's one word.
It's one word, STATICOM. Have you not been able to talk to humans before? If you can hear me, Spirits, say elephant.
Do you know Tony?
It's me. If we use this device to help cold cases, will you answer the questions? Yeah, sure. You bet. Thank you.
That will help.
That'll help a lot.
All right, I see why you had us hold on to that one for last, because that was probably the clearest that we heard, especially in the very beginning. I literally chills instantly. That was unbelievable.
Wow.
Mr. Rothman, congratulations.
Thank you.
I believe that you have shown us that consciousness does exist beyond our physical life passing. So thank you for doing what you, I mean, how did you come up with the idea to do this like this?
Well, like I said, the most important part was done by our former teammates. We've now split. We had some differences on how to make it progress, which is fine, but we worked together for about 3 years. And like I said, they're the ones that went back and realized that direct radio voice, Marcello Bacci was taken in lab by scientists, and they could not disprove or debunk the responses he was getting. So we said, okay, let's start with that. And we did. And then we said, the radio's got to go away. We got to make sure the voices are as clear as possible so that anybody who hears them will all agree they heard the same thing. And that's how this whole thing began, and continues to happen today.
Wow. Well, if you're only listening to this show, we urge you to go to watch the video, because it adds a level of dimensionality that is astounding. Because when you hear it and then you see it played on screen, it reinforces what you just heard. It's not like I didn't feel like it was swaying me to feel that I'm hearing something, but rather it was confirming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, and we tested that too, because I said, if you put the words up, you're gonna make me hear that. So we said, okay. So we put out a bunch of material where we put absolutely the wrong thing up, and people came back and said, well, I heard it, but what you wrote was not what I heard exactly, because it's not that influential to make you hear something that's not there.
Wow. That's incredible.
That's clever.
What is next for STATICOM? What's 4.0 look like?
Well, we don't know. We are so new into 3.0, and the results have just been phenomenal. But always to increase the clarity, to expand the knowledge of what they can tell us. I mean, they've helped us with settings. I've got clips where they're literally telling me up, down, what number to dial it into so that they can communicate. There's a million questions. People ask, did you ask how the pyramids were built? Did Atlantis exist? I could spend my entire life just asking questions to see what kind of answer I get. But again, all of that detracts from the research, from the understanding, and the advancement. So we have to balance that.
But pyramids, that could be a pretty good research thing. I'm just putting it out there.
They all are. I mean, there's not a question out there that humanity hasn't gone after for its existence of what happens after death. And hopefully this is a step to show a lot more than we think. And please have a listen. And like I said, any of the afterlife organizations or consciousness organizations, contact me. I will show you. I will run it for you, and you can pull it apart any way you want. Because if there is an answer outside of what we believe is happening, I'd love to hear it because I can't find it.
Right. Yeah.
So, in your experience, then, do you think billions of people have died? So there's these, I guess, consciousness, unless they come back. I don't know how it works. We'll find out eventually.
Conscious eye.
Conscious eye. So there was the one situation where everyone was talking at the same time. So I'm thinking, like, around here now, are there just all kinds of spirits and
good God! No!
Here?
I've got to sleep tonight. You can't be doing that right now.
No, but I'm curious. Like, are there a plethora around all the time, or is it just like one guy's there, or maybe there's nobody there?
They're around all the time.
Ooh.
All the time. In fact, my wife and I did research questions like, what did I do last week at this time on this day? And they'll come through and they'll answer it.
Now, the way I like to think about it is not that they're watching us do it, but rather they tap into universal consciousness and they get the answer from that instead
Correct.
of... Because, I'd hate to think that, we're in the shower and we got Jim Bob looking over our shoulder.
I'm not going to tell you how I know this, but a piece of information showed up on a video that gave a response to something we were shocked to have heard. So that's all I'm going to say. But they are around, they can see you, and they do know what you're doing.
Okay.
Oh, man.
Now we know a little bit more about you now, Tony. Hey, no judgment. That's all good. That's our, and we might have to put it to the test.
What do you mean?
We make our own video.
What?
Right, anyway, that's Skeptic Metaphysicians After Dark. Anyway.
Welcome back to the studio. First off, I want to thank the Skeptic Metaphysicians for what they do. It is so hard sometimes when we get out and we're doing these investigations to remain skeptical. Sometimes it's easy. Other times it's a huge, resounding challenge. When we're lucky enough to get in those locations where the communication is spot on and it's active and we're getting that clear, beautiful interaction and communication, it's really hard to remain skeptic. When you get into those locations that they don't really want to interact, they don't really want to communicate, or the communication is so bogged down with outside noise and everything going on environmentally. It's pretty easy to raise the question, well, it could have been, or it could have been. But I think what Tony's doing is amazing. I cannot wait for 4.0 of STATICOM to come out and just see what kind of improvements he makes on the existing program. Like I said, this could revolutionize what we do. But that's all I got for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed this little look at Tony Rothman and STATICOM and what it could mean for paranormal investigation and the science of paranormal investigation. Until next week, take care of yourselves, take care of each other. God bless you, God love you, we do. And happy hunting.